How to stop the yo-yo weight gain. Hello and welcome. If you are here, it's probably because you are sick and tired of going on diets where you lose all your weight and then you gain everything back and you gain even more, and you're stuck in this yo-yo cycle. And now you feel that because you've lost so much weight and then regained so much weight that the weight just keeps piling on and you feel stuck. You don't know what to do. So today we're going to talk about how to actually get rid of this yo-yo diet weight. First, we need to talk about what causes this rebound weight gain. And the first issue we're going to have is this restrict then binge cycle, because that's the way most diets operate. They're going to tell you, you need to eat a very small amount of calories in order to lose the weight. But the problem is that when you start doing that, it's going to create restriction within your body because you're not going to be giving it the food it needs to thrive and also the food it craves. During this cycle, your hunger hormones are also going to be out of whack. You're going to have your leptin that is supposed to signal fullness that is not going to signal fullness anymore, and your ghrelin that is supposed to signal hunger that is going to signal hunger a lot, way too much. And so this paired with the restriction is going to make it very hard for you to resist the foods that your diet prohibits you from eating. And so what are you going to do? You're probably going to be able to hold on for a little while and not eat these foods, but then at some point you are going to binge on these foods. And this is not your fault. This is absolutely normal. It is your body's survival instincts to now send all these signals, all these alerts to get you to eat the food. Another problem is that dieting slows down your metabolism. Now, it's normal when you start losing weight for your metabolism to adapt a little bit and get a little bit slower because your body wants to conserve energy. So you are going to burn fewer calories at your resting rate. This is adaptive thermogenesis, and it's pretty normal, but it's well adapted when you lose weight very slowly over a long period of time, and potentially if you gain weight very slowly over a long period of time. Your metabolism has time to adjust slowly. But if you don't do that, what happens once you start gaining weight back pretty quickly after a very, very harsh diet, your metabolism is still going to be lower. So now you're eating way more, you're binging on these foods that were previously restricted, and your metabolism is lower than before. So you are gonna gain all that weight back so quick. And then another issue with dieting is that it increases stress. If you are going on a very restrictive diet and you are suddenly like cutting in half the amount of calories that you're able to have, that's gonna put your body under stress because your body needs to get the calories from foods in order to function. So all of a sudden now it's gonna shut down, it's gonna slow down. That's what we talked about earlier. And also your stress levels are going to go up. Your body's going to be like in fight or flight kind of. Your cortisol is going to spike, and cortisol spikes lead to increased fat storage and will not help you get good quality sleep. And then it's also been shown that if you don't get good quality sleep, then that can lead to weight gain. And this whole thing is just going to impact your relationship with food a lot because you are restricting food. You are having intense cravings that you are not allowing yourself to have. Then when you do have these cravings, it's going to make you gain more weight because your metabolism has slowed and now you are stressed, you are not sleeping well, nothing is going well. And the way that this yo-yo weight functions is that you're going to do the diet for a set amount of time. You're going to be able to lose weight because you're drastically cutting calories, and it's going to seem like it's working. But actually, it's not really working because then you're going to get to this other stage where it's impossible for you to resist all this food because you're just not eating anything. So you're going to have all these cravings, you're going to start eating a ton, and you are going to gain a lot of weight. Now you're going to get to this other stage where you feel really bad because you gained even more weight. You have now intense hunger cravings. Your hunger hormones are kind of out of whack. Your cortisol is spiked. Your sleep is not going well. So you feel that you need to go back to step one and restart the diet so that you're able to lose this excess weight that you just gained. And you're like, this time I'm going to actually stick to it because it works. I just need to stick to it. I need to be disciplined. And then when you get to the end, you're just gaining all this excess weight again. It's coming back. And this is the yo-yo aspect, and you're gonna get to a point that even if you're not dieting anymore, you're going to be hanging on to this excess weight because your body has been so used to doing this yo-yo dieting that things are not working the way they should be anymore. So here's how to stop the cycle and get rid of this yo-yo weight. The key to success is understanding that another diet is not what's going to fix this weight issue. First, you need to focus your shift from weight loss to weight stability. Because the issue is if you're always trying to lose more weight, you're just gonna end up gaining more and more and more. So let's try to stay stabilized for now, and then we can talk about losing. And so once that switch has been made in your mind, you can start doing things that are gonna enable you to sustain your weight correctly. That means that you need to be eating 3 healthy, balanced meals a day that actually satisfy you. You need to break the binge restrict cycle by allowing yourself to eat all the foods you crave, just in moderation. You don't need to be eating 5 donuts every morning, but you can have 1 donut with your snack as your snack break alongside other foods a couple times a week. That's not an issue. You need to be prioritizing nourishment over deprivation. You need to start seeing calories as something positive. You want to be nourishing your body properly. You want to be giving it all the nutrients it needs to thrive, and you want to be maintaining your weight. And to do so, you have to nourish your body properly. And let me tell you that it's when you shift your mindset in order to embrace your weight, regardless of what it is, that you're gonna start seeing the weight loss. Now, another important aspect is to eat in a way that supports long-term stability. Again, this goes with this mindset shift. If in your mind you want to be losing weight quick, then the way that you're going to be eating and dieting is not a way that you can maintain for your whole life. But the way you should be approaching this is you should try to be finding a way of eating that you can see yourself having for the rest of your life. And if that sounds horrible to you, if you're like, I can't eat this way for the rest of my life, this is horrible, then that means that you're not eating right. If you are eating in a way, again, that is healthy, balanced, and that nourishes you properly, and with foods that you crave and foods that make you feel good, and you feel fully satisfied with your meals, and you're having a lot of variety and you're enjoying different foods, then that should feel exciting, and that should feel like something that you can actually do for the rest of your life. And that is maybe the biggest key to all of this, because if you're not enjoying your way of eating, it's just going to be another diet that you end up cheating on and that you end up binging, and then you're going to end up regaining the weight that you lost on that. So work on finding an eating pattern that will work for you forever. Another thing you need to work on is rebuilding trust with your body. Diets create distrust. When you regularly starve your body, because that's what dieting is, let's not kid ourselves, your body will not trust you anymore. It will live in fear that there is not going to be enough food around and that it needs to hold on to everything and slow down just in case. Now, in order to rebuild this trust, apart from eating the balanced meals that I talked about earlier, that you need to be doing that 3 times a day at least, you also need to be listening to your hunger cues. Your body is going to tell you when it's hungry, and you should not be ignoring that. If you ignore when your body is hungry, then it's going to be impossible to listen to your body when it tells you it's full. When you're getting a hunger signal, you need to tell your body, I hear you, and I'm going to eat. You have I would say a 30-minute window. If you go beyond the 30 minutes, your body is gonna start getting the signals that you're not listening to it and that it's giving you hunger signals and you're not actually doing anything about it. In order to do that, you need to make sure that you have food available, meals prepped, at least meal ideas ready for when that hunger hits so you can go eat pretty quickly. Because I know that a lot of people will tell me that when they start feeling hunger, then they maybe wait 30 minutes and then they have to cook for an hour before they can eat. And by then it's a little bit too late. Your body has been hungry for a very long time and it's gonna be hard for you to stop when you're actually full. And so you're kind of pushing yourself back into the cycle of restricting because you're waiting so much to eat and then kind of overeating because your satiety signals haven't hit yet. To rebuild trust, it's also important that you're not focusing on tracking calories or macros or anything like that, and that you're more tuning into what your body is telling you and your body's signals. And this doesn't mean that you should be listening to every single craving for a cookie or junk food or whatever. You can do this in a smart way where you let yourself have like your 3 meals a day, and then you let yourself have like a snack. And you try to kind of adapt if you find yourself always hungry for lunch. Let's say maybe have a bigger breakfast or maybe incorporate another snack. But this shouldn't be an excuse to eat anything, everything and anything the whole entire day. This should just be you trying to lean into the signals that your body is telling you in order to adapt a healthy way of eating to your body's ways. Eating in a healthy way and listening to your body can absolutely coexist. I made a whole video on this specifically, and you can check that out here. And I think maybe checking out my video on healthy eating for beginners would also be very beneficial for you. You can check it out here or in the description. Another super important aspect of getting rid of this yo-yo weight is you need to get rid of the all or nothing mentality. Because one big cause of the yo-yo dieting is that you're gonna feel like you're eating healthy, you're gonna feel like you're doing well, and then one day you're gonna have pizza or you're gonna have a cookie, something that wasn't planned. And this kind of switches you into this mindset where you're like, okay, I was doing everything perfectly and I messed up, so now I have to binge all weekend. And that's when you get into the binge restrict cycle. So you really need to get rid of this mentality that things are either all good or all bad. Things can be a mixture of both. If you want to stop your weight fluctuations, you need to stop like eating fluctuations. And this means you need to stop eating very little and then a lot, very little and then a lot. And if you're eating your healthy, balanced meals regularly, like we talked about, that's already going to be helpful. But chances are, once you are getting used to these meals and eating them regularly, you're not immediately gonna quit your binging urges. They're gonna overlap for a little bit, even if you're fueling your body with good foods. So if the binging urges happen, if you find yourself overeating, if you find yourself overlooking your hunger cues, if you find yourself eating something that's not healthy, you need to be okay with that. And you need to tell yourself that it's normal that you're gonna have moments where things aren't gonna be perfect. That's just a part of eating in a balanced way. I made a video to help you get out of the all or nothing mentality. If you're interested, you can check it out here or in the description. And finally, in order to stop the yo-yo weight gain, you need to ditch the scale. I know it can be tempting if you want to lose weight to constantly monitor your progress, constantly weigh yourself, constantly measure everything, but that will only fuel your anxiety and just reinforce this dieting process. And you need to understand that weight is not going to look linear. Like your weight loss, your weight gain, it's not going to be super linear. You're going to have moments where you're going to gain some weight maybe, then you're going to stabilize, then you're going to lose some weight, then gain again, and whatever, especially women, because hormones are involved. If you're doing the first step correctly, then you just want to maintain your weight. You're not looking for weight loss, and so you don't need to be weighing yourself all the time, because that's inevitably gonna lead to disappointment. Once you've done the healthy eating, the nourishing your body properly, the tuning into your hunger fullness cues for a little bit, like a few months, then you're going to be ready to potentially, if that's something you're still interested in, follow your weight, like track your weight and see how things are doing and kind of tweak things depending on how that's going. But you shouldn't be doing this right away, or else you're still gonna maintain yourself in that diet mentality and you're gonna not lose the yo-yo weight. So let's not do that. So I hope that this was helpful. I hope that this will finally enable you to let go of all this yo-yo dieting and this excess weight. And if you enjoy this video, don't forget to like it and subscribe, and see you on my next one. Bye.